And in comes Andrew Tillery on the mound, the freshman for NC State out of Midland, Georgia.
Tillery coming in, a tough act to follow. Barger really just had everything working for him on the mound, and this will only be the second appearance of the season for Tillery. 1 inning, 1 hit allowed, nothing else to speak of. Comes in with a pretty pressure-free situation, but a chance for NC State to see what they've got in the young freshman arm.
Tillery, a promising freshman for Elliott Avent and staff. So these are the opportunities you want to give him to get some innings under his belt. Wolfpack with a 15-run lead. The expectation for Tillery is that he's solely going to pitch for NC State. But I will say, out of Midland, Georgia, a very impressive two-way prospect.
Makes sense to give him the opportunity on the mound, at least for now, though, considering he's coming in as a freshman with a low 90s fastball.
Ty Adcock, Adam Sperlin, Matt Oldham due up for Elon as Tillery winds and sends in a first pitch. Hard ground ball over to third. Vasquez stays in front of it, but the throw is off the mark. Adcock safe at first.
Interested to see how they score that one. Obviously a tough hop for Vasquez to field. Then he pulls Debo, the new first baseman, off the bag for NC State. A couple more changes we're going to have to update you on in the field.
And this officially is ruled a throwing error for Vasquez. He was in on the play despite not gloving it cleanly initially. And the throw is really where things went awry. So Adcock, the base runner at first, as Adam Sperlin heads to the plate. Ironically, his last time up, he reached on an error. That was that fly ball out to right field that Lawson MacArthur misgauged. Tillery strokes in a couple of strikes to make it 0-2. Sperlin 0 for 2, including having reached on the error. He did come across to score the second and most recent Elon run of the evening. Tillery reaches back but misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tillery looking for his first K in a Wolfpack uniform.
Now set as he works from the stretch. Sends it to the top of the zone. And it's knocked in the air and backward out of play.
Might give us some time to recoup and let you know Javonte Brown now in left field. Luca Tresh now catching behind the plate, and Brad Debo moving from DH to first base.
Brown listed as an infielder, as that one a swing and a miss for Sperlin. The first strikeout of the career of Andrew Tillery, as you mentioned, Joe.
And absolutely beautiful off-speed pitch there, completely catching Sperlin off guard. Just pulls the string on it late.
So it brings up Matt Oldham, everyday catcher for this Elon team. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his last time up. Otherwise, he's singled. So a line of 1 for 1 on the day.
One of the more productive stat lines of the day for Elon. A base hit and a productive out.
Tillery misses. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Working Luca Tresh in his first inning behind the dish for NC State. Tillery fires another hard ground ball, smacked, but this time received in foul ground by Brad Debo. Everybody getting settled into their new roles defensively.
Yeah, a lot of shifts and changes for NC State, getting a chance to experiment with some different batting orders, different fielding positions. We've mentioned how great their fielding has been this year, second in the nation in fielding percentage.
Tillery's pitch up in the zone and fouled back out of play. You mentioned Devontae Brown out in left field. He's listed, of course, on the roster as an infielder, and that's normally where he does play. But this is not the first time we've seen him in the outfield on defense for NC State. From his perspective, hey, if it gets him time and at-bats in what is otherwise a loaded lineup.
Yeah, this is a lineup where beggars can't be choosers. If you get a chance to make playing time, you have to take it because this team is not full of cold bats. There's not really a reason to sub somebody out.
Tillery came set for the 2-2, but a timeout called by Oldham at the plate. One away, runner on first base. Another one smacked back into the net, just barely got the top of the net instead of leaving the ballpark. With 2 strikes, Tillery just off the mark, left it a little high, and now a full count to Matt Oldham.
Oldham, once again, another impressive long at-bat. 5 pitches, the shortest at-bat he's seen this evening.
He's had a 3-ball count every time he's been up, as that one is laced into right field for a base knock. His second of the day, and Oldham still yet to be retired by an NC State pitcher.
And very nearly identical to his first hit, another hard-pulled single-line drive through the hole between first and second.
And I should clarify, technically speaking, yet to be retired. He did fly out with the sacrifice
right, as
fly,
far as
that
the stat line is
that does
concerned.
not count toward his average. Either way, he's 2 for 2, and it puts 2 on for Jack Roberts, who is 0 for 2 and still in search of his first hit. Tillery's first, dumped into the strike zone, called 0-1.
It's one of those baseball nuances that really just needs to be explained to someone if they're not familiar with the game. Yes, he was out, but it was on purpose, so he doesn't get discredited for it.
And it drove in a run, which for Elon comes at a premium on a night like tonight, trailing by 15. As we are now just over 2 hours since first pitch and only in the top of the 6th inning.
And believe it or not, the pace has picked up. We were an hour in the bottom of the second.
Fastball up and in. Tillery misses, and the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike.
Midweek already. Midweek games are a chance for teams to experiment with different things. This is a great opportunity for NC State to see a pitcher like Tillery, who normally would be very, very low in what is an incredibly deep pitching staff.
It does become a tricky situation, though, in that you factor in the idea that you're playing another one of these tomorrow in Greensboro against North Carolina A&T, and then you've got a crucial ACC series this weekend against Virginia. You got to be careful about how much you mess around.
Right. There is a big difference between using the opportunity and hurting yourself for the weekend. Keeping the momentum going that has gotten you to 23-1.
Which is why it's perfect for a guy like Tillery to pitch in a situation like this. His 2-2 up the middle. He's unable to squeeze it himself. Jarrett puts it off his glove right on top of the bag. Not sure if he would have had a play either way. And the base is now loaded for Elon.
Yeah, another difficult situation to field. Obviously, a chance for Tillery at the mound to touch that one, and then Jarrett caught in between a difficult spot of should he tag the bag himself? He's fielding it, doing a lot of things at once in his head. They do rule that one an E4.
Goes as an error against JT Jarrett. To load the bases for Tyler Cranston, 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts, but neither of which courtesy of Andrew Tillery. Cranston 2 of Alec Barger's 10 strikeouts through his 5 innings as the Wolfpack starter. Watches the first, 1-0 the count.
17 runs on the board for NC State, so certainly the story is the bats, but I think Alec Barger's 10 strikeouts might be the number one for me.
Had the Wolfpack not scored 17 through 5 innings, I think you might be right, Joe. But this is already a very high-scoring team with between 8.5 and 9 runs per game. They've doubled their total average output.
And we're just past halfway.
Tillery loops in the pitch that's fouled away. Strike 2 to Tyler Cranston. Looks in for the sign. Has it from Luca Tresh. Tillery kicks. Misses high. Tresh reminds him, hey, the spot was down here.
Yeah, especially with a breaking ball, missing high is where you start floating them in for meatballs.
With 2 strikes. Swung on, Cranston sends it high up into the air and just out of play. Slow to come set. Tillery finds the strike zone, and Cranston goes down looking. That's his 3rd strikeout of the day. It puts 2 outs on the board and leaves the bases loaded.
That time, another high breaking ball, but manages to find the strike zone. Luca Tresh, I don't think was quite expecting that pitch based on his reaction. Still got a positive result, but it did warrant a mound conference.
So a quick visit to the mound for Andrew Tillery, courtesy of Clint Chrysler, in his first year as the pitching coach for NC State. So play resumes as we go back to the top of the order for Elon. Tyler Stanley to the plate for the 4th time today. He has struck out twice and singled. That was in the 3rd inning. He scored the first run for Elon today. First pitch from Tillery, hums across and taken for strike 1. Another take by Stanley, even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases still loaded. This really the first opportunity for Elon to do a lot of damage offensively. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. And 2 strikes against Stanley now.
When he has gotten over that breaking ball, it has been an absolutely devastating pitch for Tillery.
Two away, 2 strikes, Tillery set. To the plate, tried it again. Stanley didn't go for it.
Even still, at least got Stanley to lean that front shoulder. He was thinking about it.
On the last one, that much more devastating swing and miss, it was a drastic sweep across the bottom of the strike zone. With 2 strikes again, got him looking. Stanley kept the bat back as I think he was expecting another breaking ball. 3 strikeouts for Tillery to retire the side in the 6th. They strand the bases loaded as Tyler Stanley watches it for his 3rd K of the evening. Elon goes scoreless in the top of the 6th inning, bottom of the frame, and a 15-run lead.